thanks to Google and SEO. In corporations where DEI leaders smeared Israel, excused Hamas, we pressured CEOs, some resigned, many were terminated, but policies were changed, thankfully. We will shine a light on you that thanks to Google and SEO will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything, our work will always be documented, again thanks to Google and SEO. In corporations where
she forgot a couple of things to mention there. Definitely, you know what, I'm not going to put any words in her mouth. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rekah Kodash. This is Malak Maganya from GMS Toronto 2, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. I want to say also double honors to the apostles and elders who rule and teach well in spirit and in truth, right? And again, this is a great little speech here. I was going to say that she did forget a few things, but this is for you Goyams out there. She's talking to Goyams, you nations, right, that come against Israel. Now, I'll say this, right? I know that I'll preface this before I get into the scripture by simply saying this. I know that I'm a Ibaria Yasher Allah, okay, which means Hebrew Israelite in English. So I'm not really worried about what this lady is saying. And simply put, I can go to the scriptures and my experience for defense. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to read a couple of things based on what she said, right? So I'm going to play it again, and you're gonna just take another listen to what she's saying, because like I said, she's speaking to the Goyams that goes against Israel, the land over there, and the people that the people in the government that's there. She's speaking on their behalf.
DEI leaders smeared Israel, excused Hamas, we pressured CEOs, some resigned, many were terminated, but policies were changed, thankfully. We will shine a light on you that thanks to Google and SEO will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything, our work will always be documented, again thanks to Google and SEO.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, it has to be documented. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. And I said it's for you Goyams out there. That's what this charge is against. That's what this defense is set up, so that when you come against her and her people and her stand, this is what will happen to you. But anyway, enough said on that. But as I said, I'm an Ibaria Israelite, Ibaria Yasher Allah, okay, simply put. And I'm just going to go into the scriptures, but in defense of the scriptures, I don't need to defend it, but I'm going to go to the book of Revelation, and book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, and I'm just going to read from the 15th verse. The point that I'd like to make is in the 16th verse, okay? The 16th verse. So, this is Revelation 13:15. I'm going to read it today from the NLT. Bear with me. 13:15. He was then permitted to give life to this statue, so that it could speak. Right. So she mentioned about policies there. Right. So policies are changed. Right. That's going into laws and statutes, whether you receive this or not. Then the statue of the beast commanded that anyone refusing to worship it must die. Right? But here's the point that I want to get, because this is what came out to me, my understanding in what she said. Okay, it says, this is verse 16. He required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. Right? And here's the point now, tying it in. Okay? And that no man could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name, right? And just read between the lines. That's all I'm going to say, because when you go into this word in verse 16, cause it, that goes into lawsuits, that goes into convenience. Okay, you can look it up. Don't have to believe me. So you goyams out there, man, simply put, you come against that system and you're finished, right? But I'm reading the Bible here just to say this is my defense. Okay, that when this system comes, I'm not, I don't have a problem with what this lady's saying, because it's not for me. And as I said, I preface it for the fifth time here. It's for the goyams, right? You nations. All right. So now my final precept, like I said, I want to make this video short. I'm going to go to simply put. As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish the chapter. Let me just read the 18th verse of Revelation 13. It says, wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is the barcode 666, right? And then there's a actual breakdown for what it actually means. That's a breakdown going into it. But you get a meaning here that it's a number of a man, right? And it goes into that barcode system. So this lady says they're going to document you goyams out there that's mucking around and coming against Israel over there, the Israelis. You're going to be in big trouble. So watch yourself. Well, it takes two to tango. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to go to the book of Job, right? Because as I said to you at the beginning of this video, this is my defense. Simply put, this is my defense, right? And this is going into the 5th chapter. Eliphaz's response continues, right? And if you know who Eliphaz is, right, you'll understand. But the most important thing here is what the spirit of is what Job is saying. The spirit is on Job, right? So I'm going to go straight to the point. Right? You know what? I'm just looking to see here. I'm going to read the point that I'd like to make is in verse 12 of Job chapter 5. And I did promise I was going to read. I'm going to read from 12 actually, because I did say straight to the point. I'm going to read from 12 to 19. Yeah. 12 to 19. Beautiful. All right. So this is Job. This is Job chapter 5. I'm going to start at 11. Okay. I start at 10. The whole chapter is readable, right? So again, this is the defense. Job 5 and 10, it says, who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields, right? So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the one that does this, okay? Not man. Man reads some script and he takes orders, right? But the Lord is over all that. The Lord controls those orders. The Lord controls those scripts, whether they be on the left or the right. Okay? Verse 11, it says, to set up upon high those that be low, right? He gives prosperity to the poor, in other words, and protects those who suffer, right? To set up on high those that be low, you see? Right? Servants are on horses and princes are walking. So it's going to be reversed. Those roles are going to be reversed, right? So yeah, right now there's a lot of people claiming to be that this is their world and they control it, And we're going to see very soon. Verse 12. Here's the point. He disappointed the devices of the crafty. So 2/3 of our people who believe that they're superior, the scripture that I just read says that they're going to be made low, right? But this is also going into the wicked. Let's be clear here, right? The crafty, okay? The 2/3 of our people who are supporting the crafty, you're going to go down low, okay? You're going to be made base, taken out, being removed by the Lord, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprises. I'll read that again. He disappointed the devices, go into that word. I'm not going to go into it today, of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right? And I'll read it in the NLT. It says, he frustrates the plans of the schemers, so the work of their hands will not succeed. Okay? The Lord make it life, and he make it death. He's in full control. Verse 13, like I said, I'm going to read to 19, KJV. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Okay? Right? In other words, the Lord, it says he traps the wise in their own cleverness, so their cunning schemes are thwarted. Verse 14, they meet the darkness in the daytime. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as it is in the night. They find it is dark in the daytime, and they grope at noon as if it were night. So they're catching hell. These people are making these decisions, right? On top, saying that they're on top of everyone. They're catching hell as well, man. Right? Even in their threats, they're complaining. Right? Because the Lord has thwarted your schemes. He's thwarting your schemes as you speak, man. Job 5:15. But he saved the poor from the sword, you see. By the way, when you go into Revelation 13, I didn't read it. Remember I said I was going to say something. So in regards to the MOTB and these policies and lawsuits, that comes with a sword. But it says here, but he saveth the poor. Hey, so it's only the poor. Ibaria Yasharala. Okay? He's going to be saved from the sword. All right? But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. Hey, these people can talk all they want. I don't care. As I said to you before, she's not talking to me. She's talking to the goyams. You goyams out there. You're in big trouble, man. Okay? That sword is going to get you. It's a Lord's sword. Okay? And the Lord has got great control over the enemy. And he's going to even use the wicked, right? He's going to use the evil to slay the wicked. He's going to use bad times to slay the wicked. So, you people are in a quagmire. Okay? You're in straits. Okay? I'll read it from the NLT, Job 5:15. It says, he rescues the poor from the cutting of words and of the strong, and rescues them from the clutches of the powerful. That's right. The sword, the sword, okay? The sword and the sword. All right? Job 5:16. So the poor has hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. See that? In other words, it says, and so at last the poor have hope, and the snapping jaws of the wicked are shut. And so talk all you want. Have as many policies as you want. As a matter of fact, you don't have enough. You need to make more policies, right? Put more sword out on the streets, more soldiers. And there's not enough to get these goyams get these goyams in order. Okay. Job 5 and 17. Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai corrected. That would be the elect. The Lord's elect, starting with the apostles and elders on down, and the men and women who cry and sigh for the abomination. And as I said to you before, and I'll say it again, right? What this lady is saying has nothing to do with Ibaria Yasher Allah. It's for you goyams out there. Okay? Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh power corrected. Therefore, despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. You see? So yeah, we're going to go through some things with these people who are making these laws here as well. Even although it's not for us, it's for the goyams. So yeah, you better be careful who you talk to and who you touch. Okay? Said you have as much right to deal with these goyams as you want. Okay, I'll read it from the KJV because I got two more verses in closing here. This is Job 5 and 17, NLT, excuse me. It says, but consider the joy of those corrected by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Definitely, right? Chastisement is the only way, right? Because before honor comes humility. And the Lord always keeps his elect in the spirit of humility. Because as I read to you before, he's going to exalt them at the right time. Right? And they're being exalted now in humility. Okay? And we fear the Lord. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin. See? So that's the point. Right? So when the Lord shows you sin, admit it. Right? Accept it, repent, and move on in spirit and in truth. Okay, so yeah, so this is Job 5 and 18. One more verse after this. It says, for he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. You see? Hey, the Lord is controlling everything, man. Right? For though he wounds, he also heals. He bandages up. He strikes, but his hands also heal. See? The Lord controls the issues of life and death. Well, no man controls that. Somebody can tell you that they're going to do this and do that, but be sure that the Lord is the one that's controlling the hands. Last verse, Job 5 and 19, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. See, hey, we're in the time of the 6 troubles, right? I said we're in the time, it's almost ended going into the seventh trouble. Okay, so the deliverance is going to come sometime in the 6 troubles. We're in here, right? And the Lord is giving signals, right? The 6 troubles going into the 6th trumpet, okay? He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in the 7th, you see, there shall no evil touch thee. That's right. That's right. You see, and there, I'll read it for you, the NLT. Right, because it's already broken down, but they just say it a little funny here. NLT Job 5 and 19, it says, from 6 disasters he shall rescue you, even in the 7th he will keep you from evil. So yes, when you go back to the trumpets of the book of Revelation, okay, all right. So yeah, that's what that's going into. So yes, deliverance for the Lord's elect. We don't care about you goyams. We don't. I don't care about this lady making these decisions, making these statements. And I say that to say this. As I said, I'm not worried about what she's saying. This is more worrying to me, right? And the Lord promised that he's going to deliver the poor. Okay? One more verse. And final one, Job 5 and 20. In famine, see that? He shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. All right, so yes. So simply put, I just wanted to bring that out. Lord willing, this video and this testimony was edifying, right, and clear in regards to who this lady is speaking to, right, and who she's not speaking to, right? Right, because like I said, I don't really care what she's saying, because I have nothing against what she's saying, because it's for the goyams. So again, All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I want to say double honors to the apostles and elders and rulers and the men who cry and sigh, and their families cry and sigh for the abominations that are done within the midst of Babylon and also in the four corners of the earth. All right? Abad Babal, Kwam Yasha'Allah, and Abad Babal.
In corporations where DEI leaders smeared Israel, excused Hamas,